The warmth of a morning sun, especially after a cold night, so amazing, so good, and nothing compares to it. When you just sit here in the tent, soaking in the sun. No need to meditate when being in the mountains is meditative in itself.
So we are hiking above the Loseni village in the Botnalla valley of Kishtwar. The plan is to go take a closer look at the Agyasol peak. It looks so amazing when we were hiking down to the Dangel village yesterday. So I thought we'll climb up to the ridge and take a closer look at the peak. So it's a hard climb, and we are going to a place called the Pali, which is like a Doksa in Ladakh and Zanskar, which is the place where they keep their animals during the summer months up in the mountains to graze. So I was expecting this clearing to be the Pali, but I think it's much further away above the next ridge. So we'll take a short break here and then go up to the Pali and spend the night there. Finally, after a steep hike, we've reached the Pohali of the Loseni village. The Pohalis here are the Doksas in Zanskar, where the villagers come during the summer months with their goat, sheep, cows, yaks and churros, and they spend the summer months here taking their animals out to graze, and then they'll be here inside these stone huts collecting milk and making butter, making cheese, etc. So here we have the snowfields leading up to the Agyasol peak. It's not really visible right now, it's hidden by clouds, but yeah, it looks nice, very nice place. And around here, yeah, the valley opens up. I carried a wood fire stove on this trip and left my petrol stove back in the car. The goal was to force myself to use the wood fire stove exclusively over multiple days to learn the benefits and drawbacks of using one. Water is bursting out of the ground here, but I think it's a little muddy. Let's see. Not a little, very, very muddy. Actually, can't drink this, no. Yeah, I think I finally found a decent source of water. Still not like completely clear, but yeah, not fully clear. But it's mostly like leaves and wood from the mountains. So one of my friends call it the Shingshumik, which means a wood spring. Since the spring is flowing through the woods, and it kind of collects the small wood particles, they call it the Shingshumik, and they say it tastes of wood. I can't taste it like that. It just tastes normally to me, but they say it's Shingshumik and it tastes of wood trees, and it tastes of trees. Interesting. Look at the root of this birch tree. It's absolutely amazing. It's like knotted up in so many levels. I don't know how it got this way. Wow. Up. Ooh. Good place to take a rest and look at the Agyasol peak up there. Ooh. Love this place. I was looking for a good place to camp today, and I think this will be the perfect spot. We have a shepherd's camp here behind us, and there is a good water source nearby, and right above, you can't see it here, is the Agyasol peak. This is a nice spot to cook, a little bit shaded from the wind, so it should be good. Time to cook now, make some rajma. Let's start a fire going. It's less windy here, so it should be well protected. The fire should burn nicely here. Would put this slightly wet, but I think it should burn well. And the birch bark is something I found out recently. It's a very nice tinder. It burns almost instantly. See? The birch bark, yeah. It's a very nice tinder. So anytime you find birch bark, collect it and use it as tinder. The birch bark catches fire almost instantly. One of the advantages of hiking with a wood burning stove is that you can use twigs, small branches, bark, and even dry dung that is lying around the campsite, and basically have an unlimited source of fuel. Normally, my hiking trips would be limited by the amount of food and fuel I carry, but now, if I have unlimited access to fuel, then I can carry extra food and extend the duration of my trips. Dehydrated tomatoes, these are so good. Everything went great when I used the wood stove in perfect weather, but things changed once it started raining and I had trouble both with cooking outside and with trying to get the wet wood to burn properly. No, it's raining now. We have to go. Hopefully it clears, then we can come back and cook again. Now, time to pack up and go. Have to pack up everything. Oh God. Have to save as much as the wood as possible. I'm just keeping it all inside here below this log so that it stays a little dry. Raining now, not heavily, but yeah, not lightly as well. Inside my tent now, waiting for the rain to stop. It's only slightly drizzling, but yeah, you never know. Until the sky is clear, you just have to wait it out and then try to cook dinner whenever it's clear. Maybe around 5-6 p.m. or maybe late at night, we never know. I went camping at different locations surrounding the Agyasol mountains in the next few days. It rained on and off for the next few days when I was camping, and it was quite a struggle to cook using my wood stove. Time to cook before the rain comes here. It looks very close. Cooking pasta now should be done quickly. Let's see. The rain is falling now, so I had to move my stove into the tent. It's a wood fire stove, so I'm a little bit worried having it in my tent, but I have no option. I've just kept the vestibule open a little bit to allow. Yeah, it's almost done, the pasta. Let me do a tasting. Almost done. I'll just close it so it cooks quickly. The fire died again. So one last try. So the flame died again. So I think that this is the best I can cook tonight. Quite good. 99% cooked, a tiny bit undercooked, but it's totally edible and quite tasty. Such unpredictable weather over here, but it looks quite nice. Yeah, it's clearing nicely. The view behind the tent is amazing. I'll start a time lapse now. Yeah, just the view of the valley, the clouds moving, the clouds clearing, the trees above, absolutely stunning. The lesson at the end of the trip was that I cannot rely on the wood stove exclusively. I will now be carrying both my petrol stove and the wood stove on future hiking trips when I want to extend my fuel supply for as long as possible. Okay, it has caught fire. Good. Long live birch. Oh, no, hopefully. Oh, the fire died again. Shit. Damn it.